Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video tutorial, we're going to see about switch to frame and switch to parent frame. Okay, so basically what is a frame, or maybe this is a iframe that we are talking about. Okay, so what is the iframe basically? So iframe is a page within a web page. All right. So what I can say, so this is my web page, one page, okay, one frame I can say, and within that there is another web page you can see on here. Okay, so this is called iframe, and in Selenium, if I want to click on this element, or this element, okay, anywhere, I can directly interact with those elements. And suppose if I want to click on this particular element, okay, in this element or this element, I cannot directly click the traditional way, like browser dot element this one and click. So that will not work in this case, because this is a separate web page altogether, right, within that iframe. So I can say it's like another window or another tab. Here web page is there is web element and you are on this page. So if you want to click on the second page element, you cannot do, right? So the same concept, right, the same concept over here as well. So there is a web page, this web page within our web page. So for that, what we need to do, in case of new window or new tab, we need to switch to that tab and need to get to that window handler. Then we need to find element and click on that. So the same concept over here, but instead of switch to window, we have switch to frame. Okay, switch to this frame and perform your task. So same thing will also do in this particular method. Switch to frame on this and then click on maybe this element, or skip to context. So this one will be clicking over here. So what I can do, just let me just get the window handle, inspect, in order to get the element. So before that, I can see in here, so you can see this particular hierarchy. If you see, it starts with HTML. Yeah, every web page should start from HTML, and go in here. There is a div. Within the div, there is something called iframe, and that iframe also within that again HTML comes. That means it's a separate web page altogether within the web page. All right, so for that, what do we need to do? We need to switch to this iframe. So for switching to iframe, what we can do? So there is a name, there is an ID. So based on this identifier, we can switch to that particular iframe. So in here, you can see there is something called ID we need to provide. Okay, like in switch to tab or switch to window, we have a window handler or Windows browser's ID, right? Browser handle ID. The same case for each iframe also we have some IDs or some um, maybe some locators kind of thing or property we need to use to go to this particular iframe. Okay, so in our case we have already ID. Based on this ID we'll switch. All right, so in here you can see one of the three possibilities type null. This represents the top level browsing context. That is not an iframe. A number representing index of the window object corresponding to the frame. Okay, maybe you can say the numbers. So remember this thing always. Suppose you have 10 of iframe within one web page, so always try to count from top left corner. Okay, from this corner you'll see how many iframes are present, and based on that indexed will be 0, 1, 2, 3, like that from top left bottom. Okay, So this is what it's saying. And yeah, index is 1 and the string representing element ID. Okay, whether the element ID you can provide. Maybe yeah, if you have any element, this element's ID also you can provide within the switch. Sorry, in here in this switch. So any element present within this iframe, that element's ID also you can provide as per this. Okay, it says a string representing an element ID that can be received using find element. Okay, so let's start with the ID of the iframe. So I'll go to the iframe, this ID. So what I can do first, I can just maybe just copy this one. And okay, for this, let me just, okay, I'll be using the same particular code. I'm not gonna create any new. I'll just change the URL in here. Then it will be in the iframe in the, sorry, not this one. Okay, and now I got this page. Here I'll say switch to iframe, and iframe ID I know already, ID F1. Okay, so I got the ID. The next step would be to get the ID of this skip. Okay, so the skip, maybe I can say the class is this screen reader or the text or whatever. Maybe I'll just write this dollar. Okay, skip to context dot click. So what we'll do, it will first switch to that iframe, then click on that, skip context, and you should see this one. Okay, and let me just save this. And if we run this particular thing, okay, so let me run this. So it will go to this page and switch to this, but we are getting some error. It says invalid argument ID cannot be string. Okay, so in the latest uh, webdriverIo W3C standard, there are some changes for these. Okay, so you need to have the latest webdriverIo, Chrome driver with the Chrome version, right? If that W3C standard is not made, then you might get the error. So for that, we have a workaround over here. So what I can do, just write iframe. Okay, so it should be like this. Okay, one second. Okay, so we need to write like this, the web element kind of dollar, then find the element. So we are providing the web element over here, then iframe, then ID of that iframe. Okay, so if you go in here, so this is the W3C standard web page. Here we can go and check what are the changes and all. Okay, for currently it didn't work for me when I provide the 1 or 2 or maybe the string. So I was getting some error. So that's why I just searched and Googled it, and I found this is the workaround for now for me. So what I did, dollar, the web element, basically I'm passing over here of that iframe ID. I go in this web page. So that worked for me. Okay, so if I inspect and got this page and this one. Okay, so in here you can see this is iframe, and within the iframe the id equal to if1. Okay, if1. So this is what I have written there, and if I write sorry, if I just run this particular thing now, should work. Okay, so it will open that web page, then it will go to and it will switch the iframe and wait for 10 seconds, and then it will just click on the skip content. Okay, and then close, and it got passed. Fine, so this is how it works. And also you can, if you want to get the text, we can get the text as well. Get text and just print that get text. Console.log text returned. Sorry, I can say text returned plus and this one. Fine. Now if I run this, let's see what happens. It will go to this page and switch the iframe and skip, and it will click and get the text. So yes, skip to context, text return the skip to context. Okay, so that means it worked fine, and this is how we can use the first one, switch to frame and switch to parent frame. So basically switch to parent frame means it will come to the default your parent web page. So maybe what I can do in here, suppose I want to click on this home page as well. So what I can do, switch back and click on that web page. Sorry, this home page. Okay, this one. What I can do, just maybe get the XPath. Okay, and now I'll be clicking on the home page as well. Before that, I need to use switch to parent browser dot switch to parent frame. So it doesn't require any. You can see in here, it doesn't require any ID or something. It will just switch back to the previous your parent frame. So now what I can do, get the element of the this one. Yeah, so this XPath of the home page element, home element, and click on that. Okay, so if I click on that, I should see something. Okay, so it will go to this, then switch to the iframe, and it should click on the skip content, and it click on the home as well. Okay, it was so fast, right? And the test got passed. So thank you very much for watching this video. Bye for now.